Let's talk about using the guides in Google Slides. Have you ever been super frustrated because you can't seem to get things to line up correctly or well or in a way that seems pleasing to the eye with Google Slides? Let's learn how you can use the built-in, ready to go, and always available for you guides in Slides to eliminate that frustration. I've got a slide deck already open and ready to work with. Now, when I opened up this slide, my two text boxes were already perfectly in alignment. On my second slide, I have some images and I have a text box. Let's move the text box around and see what we notice. I'm going to click and move it around. First of all, you can see the guides up on the ruler. Do you see the red line splitting the screen? If you look, that guide is telling you that you've moved your text box to the center of the screen. When you let go, your text box, not the words, your text box is centered perfectly in the middle of your screen. Now, if you want your words to be centered, make sure that you use the Align tool to make that happen. You've just centered your text box on your slide. With images, it works the same way. Select one of these slide images and start moving it around. Once you see the red lines for the first time, you're going to notice that they show up often. Notice how my red guidelines are showing up multiple different times. On the vertical, I'm halfway on the screen. If I start moving it to the left, do you see these smaller red lines, guidelines showing up? It means that I'm aligning with something different on my slide. Notice how it changes. Blue guidelines even show up. Those are indicating a particular spacing. When I let go, notice how it is perfectly in alignment with the slide above it. When I start moving these all around, you're going to start noticing a ton more guidelines. Use these to help you. Please note that these guidelines only show up when you are clicking and dragging. If I were to use the arrow keys on my keyboard, I don't see these guidelines. If you're a person who really likes to use the arrow keys on your keyboard, don't worry, all is not lost. When you click on View, you can go to Guides, Show Guides, or Add Guides. You can even edit them and clear them. I'm going to say Show Guides. It gives me gray guidelines that show me half splits on slides. This allows me to now use my keyboard and the arrows to line up my slides any way that I want them. Don't be afraid to turn these guides on because it's super simple to grab them and move them where you would like. Notice the red overlay is helping me to align to something else. Pay attention to these, and you're going to find that aligning objects and text boxes becomes a whole lot simpler. When you're done with your gray guidelines, go back to View, Guides, and uncheck, and they go away. This is definitely one Google Slides tip you can do.